All right, welcome guys to week number 2 back from our mid-season break. I think it was week 9, but or 8. I lost a little track after our 2-week break, but back again. It's Corey Doge once again with
Simeon Mongdude back here again.
Yeah, so we're ready to cast another Fire Nation game. They're back again after another 2-0 last week, so they still haven't dropped the game, but with them securing first place, they are going to be making a substitute this week at 80 carry. Risket's going to be hitting the bench, and Unlimited Ninja is going to be coming in. So he's a
What do you know about this
traditionally a mid laner.
Okay.
But he has been playing 80 carry. His OP.GG has some really good stats. He's been playing a lot of Ezreal. He actually has been playing a lot of Aphelios, and I know Deadpool Gambit's a big Aphelios player, so keep an eye on that pick. It might be a power pick with FN being on blue side. That might be left open and not banned in our first pick. If not, Ezreal.
Still a good pick.
Yeah, still a good pick. And the weakness of Aphelios is that he has really low MR, so they might keep it open kind of as a bait for PTC. And then with him having a mid lane background, he can play all the mages in the bot lane and stuff. So that's
a really good flexibility down there then.
Yeah.
Both ADC potential and then the mage potential in the bot lane. Okay.
That's a really strong flex, especially in this meta. And then also with Burn Victim in the mid lane, they can move around. Don't be surprised if Burn Victim ends up in the bot lane and Unlimited Ninja. I gotta get that down. I might say the wrong name or something a couple times, but forgive me.
Hey, we haven't had very many changes to rosters in the last couple of weeks, so that's why. The only one with the big one changes was
Alex to THE, and then they had the new mid laner. So they might be making more changes, but we'll roll with it. But if we plug some, we get used to saying the same names. So, but I know in some scrims. Unlimited Ninja was playing some mid laners, and then Burn Victim was actually playing ADC, so they do have that flexibility to actually move him into the mid lane role, which is cool. I know he plays a lot of Yasuo, Diana, Echo, those kind of assassin, brawly, flashy mid laners, which is really cool. And then so they kind of have two different identities. If he flexes into the mid lane, they can play those picks, and then we've seen Burn Victim on the Corki, the Syndra, the Azir, those more control mages. So having that flexibility, it'll be pretty cool. Hopefully we see them challenged like they were last week. THE pushed them.
Last week was a good game.
Yeah, they pushed them, and we really got to see some really good 40-minute even drafts with good team fights. A lot of really good stuff. Makes it easy to talk over when there's a lot of action going on, and they're pretty competitive games. We saw gold leads all the way up until the game ended.
Hey, I had to say, those games last week, there weren't as much of a fiesta as the last couple of games we've commentated,
So maybe we'll be going back to our roots.
I know, right? Maybe we might see something different this week.
But yeah, so PTC is coming in with the same roster, and I'm really looking to see Deadpool Gambit come in and welcome Unlimited Ninja to the bot lane. Maybe he can have a little bit of a pop-off and use that
a wake-up call.
Yeah, or
just to what the level
welcome
is.
Welcome him to the league a little bit. And hopefully we have a nice close game. FN's probably going to come in with their same scaling comp. We've seen them play all their games except for one. They played that early game.
Yeah. So I like to see that a little bit more often, honestly.
Yeah.
Just to see how they're able to tackle it,
And now that they've secured the first place for the playoffs, you do have some room to
experiment,
play different styles, see if it works. Maybe they'll play something different and it'll work better than. Sure, they haven't dropped the game, but just to be able to end games sooner is always a good feeling. But Mega Man Zero, he's been playing very good, but he hasn't had a pop-off game. We saw him pick the early pick Kassadin last time against FN, and he got counter-pick Lucian, and that was not fun. So hopefully we can see him get back into a good carry role and maybe pop off and bring FN down for the first week.
Honestly, I'd like to see him back. I don't know if to say old self, but back to seeing some more pressure from him again, just to see him play well.
Yeah.
The last couple of games, he's been okay, but I know I've seen him play a lot better than what he's usually been. So.
Yeah. So I really want to see FN get pushed. No bias here, but if they,
dude, we always have to challenge the top dogs, right?
You always got to come after the top dog. Everyone likes rooting for the underdog,
right?
So, PTC, it's your turn this week. THE fell just short last week.
But it was one of their better games.
Yeah.
I had to say.
I think everyone's playing up to their caliber. Yeah. And, that's the best way to improve is, having someone to chase is always a good thing. So, the other thing, we're on the same patch as last week, so we got the Ezreal nerf, Karthus buffs.
I wonder if there's going to be more variety in this one, just because they've gotten, the last couple of weeks to try out the new patch a little bit. So
we still have Volibear being very strong. Didn't see it. We did see PTC play it. I think they were the team that played it with with Yumi. And it was scary. Zoom Bear.
Yeah. We want the leaks. Riga.
We're team no leak here. So hopefully we do see some of those meta picks.
Guys. No comment.
We see those meta picks coming in. Volibear's good. I'm looking to see Bearson on some variety. We've seen him on tank duty, and now that
you have been saying that, yes,
secured. Maybe he'll branch out, play some of it. I know he plays Riven, he plays Aurelia, he plays Darius a lot, and we've seen him on the Darius. But other than that, we've seen him pretty much on tank duty. Guy's got the best KD in the league.
He still does, doesn't he?
Yeah, let him go out there. The only other person that would be close is Risk It. He dropped like a 14-2 game, but we see him not in this week. So I think those two are the top dogs. I didn't look at KDAs coming in this week. I was slacking a little, but I was looking up a limited ninja with the little prep time to kind of see his play style, and I did see some scrims, and he looks pretty good. So. The only worry I have is him not being a natural ADC player. Maybe not so much in these games, but definitely going forward.
So do you think we'll see more of the mage bot lane then?
I think that wouldn't be a surprise if we did see a Syndra pick go into the bot lane, or even like a Corki where it's an AD carry but is traditionally played mid lane. I don't know for sure because I didn't dig too deep, but like I said, he played more of an assassin mids, like the Diana, the Yasuo. So he didn't have a whole lot of the control mages, but mid laners play a big. Having a champion Ocean is always a strength more than a weakness. So being able to be flexible, AD carry is very similar to mid lane. The only thing is you scale harder. You don't get to one shot everyone.
No.
I'm interested to see how going forward this change does make.
No, I agree.
If it improves. That's awesome, and like I said, being able to flex and having more wiggle room with champ select is always a good thing. Having people comfortable in multiple roles, but when tested, I am nervous to see if he gets uncomfortable being put onto an AD carry, not his natural role. There's some intricacies.
Intricacies?
Yeah, English is hard. In the bot lane, when you're working with the support, that are different than being in mid lane, where you have the shorter lane.
Because you're not by yourself.
Yeah, you're not by yourself. You got to play around two players instead of one and a jungler, and there's just a couple different power spikes, and I'm sure I said, he's been spamming AD carry from his match history. So
yeah, I think FN has the advantage this week though, just because they played last week and the week before. No, we didn't have a game.
And then they had the 2 break, but they did play before that. They've looked clean.
They've played, and PTC's been off for almost 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So like, FN has a warm up. PTC hasn't, been on a break. So
officially, but
and then they have the 4 players to support Unlimited Ninja. So I think we'll see what happens.
And I'm pretty sure that most of the team is pretty good friends. So that always helps. You're playing normal games or flex with each other. So it's not like they've never played together, and this is just a brand new player that they've never really queued with. That always helps. Being familiar, you kind of know your friends' play styles for better or for worse.
Sometimes it's not that great. Sometimes it's good though.
Yeah.
So.
But I really am looking to see PTC and another big pick that I just thought of was Bard. We saw how awesome Bard was last week.
I almost forgot about that. Bard came through.
Yeah, carried
both games.
In my opinion, carried the game.
Yep,
so
I agree.
I wonder if other teams watched and were like, "Holy crap! This Bard is either going to draw a ban or we got to start playing it," because it was that impressive and really game changing.
It's a game changing. Like he saved Bard saved his own team oh my gosh, dozens of times.
Yeah, I think of that gank where he landed that 3-man ulti at max range.
Right.
Oh, it was beautiful to see.
Yeah. Yeah, Bard makes a big difference when played right. Yes, he didn't roam a lot, but his ult came in handy wherever he was, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. So. And we are testing out some new technology today. We're going to have replays available. We're still experimenting with them, so if we spaghetti something or we're back in time, not in live, we'll figure it out. But it's a really good new technology, and I'm excited to see it because going back and being able to see a team fight or a solo kill again, just to kind of work through what happened, and I don't miss something.
We didn't get a chance, to be able to see it and just to kind of replay and kind of go play by play a little bit, even though it's only 20 seconds, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully it goes smoothly.
Hopefully it works.
Like I said, it'll probably work flawlessly, as Big Daddy Craw is saying here. I'm sure it will as well.
Hopefully.
But we do have FN going to be on blue side. We discontinued the coin flip. So basically, I don't know if we explained this last week because it was news to us.
We didn't know last week, so yeah.
The team that lost the coin flip in their first matchup gets to pick sides. So,
okay.
Which is totally fair, especially since FN lost every coin flip. I swear I wasn't rigging it. I just am very good at flipping coins. So they have blue side, so they're going to be first pick. Look for the Aphelios. Look for the Ezreal that works so well, even though it's a different player. They played really well with that Ezreal Bard bot lane, and we see it becoming more and more meta in pro play. Ezreal
is just a safe pick.
Is so safe, allows Bard to make those plays, and then Bard is so strong early game. Like his poke, his damage is crazy. We saw them take Electrocute last week. Complements the Ezreal. He kind of is weak because his first purchase is the tier versus other AD carries picking up that BF sword. So Bard can kind of supplement that damage discrepancy, and then mid game, Bard kind of falls off his damage. He roams. Ezreal is safe with his E, stacks up that Muramana, and then they become just a powerhouse. Bard still does damage. He can build.
Slow helps him to allow him to hit all his skill shots.
His build path is so cool because you can go traditional support, or you can go rapid fire dead man's play, which is super hype. I think you running people down super long range, slowing them. That's my favorite build. I always get flamed when I play Bard playing with my friends because I always leave my AD carry. I'm on an adventure getting all the meats.
That's the benefit of Bard. You're kind of like a support jungler. Yeah, that's what you are.
It's more fun. No one likes being stuck down there. That's the autofill pick.
You gotta love it though because ADCs you get the free XP, you get almost a free farm. You get at least a level or two above your other ADC.
It depends who you got ADC.
No, you're right.
If they get killed on repeats, I understand the frustration, but it is fun to ding-a-ling around and pick them up. I'm trying to think of any other hype picks. We saw Kog'Maw mid last week.
Yeah, he did do it. Finally.
After weeks of talking about it. And it won. It looked really good. I didn't get to see the damage chart. I wish someone would have screenshot it from the game and sent it to me. But it seemed like it was doing a lot of damage.
Especially that team fight, the dragon that they had. Yeah. That one.
And they went back kind of their roots and played around the dragon, got to 4 dragons, and then it pretty much guarantees the win.
Yeah.
With how strong certain Dragon Souls are. I think we got Double Mountain last
game.
Yeah,
that hurt.
Yeah, and that kind of neutralized the Lux pick, who was absolutely popping off.
Yeah.
One-shotting people, and then they get extra. And I was saying Mountain Dragon's 8% armor. It got changed to 6%. So it was an extra 18% armor magic resist, which is still absurd, but definitely less than 24%.
Yeah.
So interesting to see what dragons we get. Are we going to get High Roll Mountain, Infernal Ocean, or are we going to get Resonant Sleeper Wind? Because Wind is good on 10 champions. So that ultimate cooldown is cool, but tons of damage, tons of tankiness, and tons of healing.
Right.
Definitely outweigh it. Because there's some champions that only ult once per team fight, and that doesn't get affected by Cloud Dragon. But then there are some champions who really do like that extra ult cooldown. Like you think of someone like LeBlanc, who has a super short ult cooldown, and if you reduce that, maybe she gets an extra double distortion or something like that in the team fight, and that can end up changing the game. But most champions, it's irrelevant. So we like to see Infernal. We like to see damage. So let's see Infernal Dragon Soul.
I'll see if we get some Fiestas this game.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see some bloodier games. Last week it was very controlled, and we saw him go to that 4 dragon and then have to fight which is all right, but we like to see good ganks, good setup. We did get to see some freezing last week, which was just textbook. I wish I could get a nice replay of that and just see it. It was so beautiful.
Would actually be nice to have.
Yeah,
next time we have.
We might be in the works, try something out, but guess we're getting some nice copy pasta here for him. I was gonna read what was above it, but it got bumped off.
It's just too long of a message, man.
I think this is more Fire Nation.
So we're going to Champion Select here, right? And the Morgana ban is coming out first.
And the Morgana ban's interesting. They've been banning it almost every week. I know they banned it both times last. So I wonder what that is in counter of. You think of like Blitzcrank, you think of the engaged supports like Leona and stuff. Storyteller was getting Morgana banned all last week. So and then the TF ban. TF is really rising in power. He isn't getting nerfed from what I know. He gets his global extra gold. And then this ban I really like. Syndra is crazy. We've seen Burn Victim, and now that they have a mid laner in the AD carry role. And
so the Ezreal comes off the charts now.
Wonder if Aphelios is going to get banned here, or are they going to leave it open?
Right.
Because we know Unlimited Ninja has been playing the Aphelios. I really want to see it. I like watching Aphelios. He's flashy. Gets to do 200 years things.
Mess up our commentating because we don't know what's happening.
He's got all these guns. I've been doing my research, and his like guns can like similar to certain champions. So you can kind of relate to them. That helps me remember them.
The Nautilus ban.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's the desired pick with the Morgana ban. They want to go like Aphelios. Aphelios Nautilus, 200 years under the sea, as LPL calls it. So I guess they're going to have to settle for something else. But Ashe is another AD carry who's been really rising in power. Brings the slow, brings some CC, self-peel.
That's what she has.
And
bring the Kog'Maw back.
Wow.
Okay.
Insta-lock. Okay. So we did see Mega Man Zero early pick the Kassadin when he really wanted to hyper carry. And we see the early Kog'Maw pick here. Assuming it's mid lane.
I hope this doesn't hurt him like the last time.
And like we kind of talked about before, we see Orianna coming through. We did talk about Unlimited Ninja being a mid lane player who plays those Dianas, Echoes, stuff that could be really problematic for the Kog'Maw.
Right.
So I don't know if Burn Victim does play the Aphelios where they could swap, but we see the Orianna coming in here in counter pick. They haven't picked a tank, so maybe
he's back.
I like seeing Volibear. Volibear's hype. I don't like my teammates don't like seeing him when I'm playing him though because it's not good. But I do like seeing him. He's probably going to be in the jungle. Very strong early game. Very good clear. Very good tower diving. He brings it all as we are likely to assume from these rework champions. You know, they get a lot of love.
They do.
So Malphite ban, I believe it was against PTC where Bearson played Malphite and was just absolutely unkillable.
Yes. Couldn't touch him.
Yeah, he kind of popped off and got some kills and got a lot of gold on the Malphite, and it was like into almost all AD, and he just built the GA as his last item, and he's just hitting people and doing a lot of damage. So
they're really targeting the bot lane from what it looks like.
Which they should. I mean, they have the jungle, the Kog'Maw mid gone, so they could really just pinch the support role here, get a good favorable matchup for the Aphelios where he can safely scale into late game. Aphelios is such a good pick because there's the Bard. I maybe would have liked to see the Bard come out if they were thinking of playing it. I know Aphelios does pair well with really like protective support. So you think of the Tahm Kench, you think of the Thresh, you think of Engage where with a lot of CC where they can peel for him. If he doesn't get one shot and he takes Conqueror, he does a lot of damage. If he has the red gun, the white gun, he's one-shotting people. He's throwing Heimerdinger turrets over there. I really like it. But that's the key. If he's allowed to scale and allowed to survive in a team fight, he will 1v9 every single fight. As long as the plays are right. And Lulu coming through, this is a really good pairing with Ashe. I think this dual bot lane is probably one of the strongest in this meta. You see it in... on streams and stuff in Challenger, and they're just smashing the laning phase. Ashe is so oppressive with the slow and the W spam.
And just her poke,
and she is such a long attacker, and she will outrange the Aphelios unless he has the Caitlyn gun, which is good design. But Aatrox coming in here, Bearson's fallback, default blind top lane pick.
But Aatrox is a safe pick, though, too.
He does kind of everything.
Yeah.
He's a brawl. He can brawl, or he can be kind of that initiation. Yeah. And we saw Leona hovered here.
Leona's coming through, or
Rakan.
Okay,
I like Rakan.
Coming.
Rakan's nice and flashy. He brings a lot of the engage, but also great peel. Mm-hmm. He can kind of engage and then fall back at the same time.
I'd say your Singe did not get banned this time.
I'm giving up on that. My hopes are broken. And we see Ornn coming through.
Yeah, this is the first time Ornn has been banned.
Yeah, in a while.
In a long time.
I don't know if I'm happy or sad about that. So you get the Mage Assassin. Actually, he did get nerfed. So now when you do purchase health from his passive, he doesn't get that until he recalls.
Right.
Which is a great change. Probably a long time coming. Because being able to just start like refillable and then just start buying items and getting health, it was not.
It's nutsy.
It was not fun, because you like chunk him out and then he just buys health items with his gold and in lane, doesn't even have to miss XP, right. and it's just
that means he can stay in lane
poor
forever.
Design, in my opinion.
What? I think an amazing design.
I like being able to pick up items and stuff, but with all the other stuff he brings, with like great team fighting, great engage, great damage, and then also he can buy items in lane and benefit from them immediately. It was just a lot.
True.
So I think that was the right place to attack him, was his lane dominance, because he could kind of lane against everyone and do damage. Mm-hmm. You know, he kind of was the whole package. So being able to attack that part of him where he can still be the initiation and the tank.
He didn't lose a whole lot, but he did.
Yeah,
the advantage that he got.
Yeah, touch him enough where like now someone like an Aatrox can bully him out.
Yep.
Whereas before he could pretty much never recall unless he needed wards or timings for like dragon and stuff.
Right, a fight or
yeah.
whatever.
So now it forces him into like decision making where he has to trade smarter, because he can't just buy a ruby crystal and just heal that. So the team comps here, I am worried about this AP Kog'Maw because of the Jarvan, Rakan, and the Aatrox. Mm-hmm. They have really good access to the backline.
Yeah.
Where they do have Lulu, it's kind of like a Juggermaw minus like the completely peel, and it's going to be AP most likely coming out here from the Kog'Maw. Yeah. So they do have a lot of ways to get on him, but Ashe, Volibear, Ornn, they have also good ways to get into Aphelios. So it's going to be kind of these messy team fights. It's not going to be like a traditional front to back where the tanks just smack each other. I think we're going to see the tanks both sides going past, and then seeing who decides to peel and who decides to engage is going to be really intricate.
See what
fights.
The disengage or whatever looks like.
Yeah, and with Rakan, I think the disengage is better for the Lulu. Just having access to polymorph and the ultimate there.
But the Orianna all changes everything.
Yeah,
though, too,
Orianna can
time.
just delete people if it gets out of hand. So. And Ornn can break the Cataclysm with his dash.
True.
That's something that a lot of people forget, me included, that he does destroy.
The walls.
What is it? Player created.
Yes, player created walls.
Terrain. So he can free the Kog'Maw from there if he's not on engaged duty.
Yep.
So if he does strictly peel, he can use his ultimate to knock up, and then he can get Kog'Maw or Ashe out of the Cataclysm, which is very important because without Flash, those two champions are both pretty immobile.
Correct.
And when you have an Aatrox and a Jarvan flying in and a Rakan charming you,
just charming in. Yeah.
It's very hard to play, but with that line of play, it's not the fastest peel because the E takes some time. And while you do have Orianna ultimate coming down on you, Aatrox, sweet spots, it's not the easiest thing to do. So I don't even know if that's the best route for Ornn, or is going in and trying to disrupt going to be the better play. And we'll see how it kind of plays out here.
Something about Justice for Bearson Players Association for EGL.
Yeah, so the copy pasta is strong this week. I like it. Their bot lane has really good synergy. Yep, Ashe Lulu is very strong synergy, and so does Rakan Aphelios. I mean, Aphelios does so much well that he has synergy with almost everyone. Yeah. I think. Something about digging roster drama. Yeah.
We're not getting into that, guys. No worries.
Yeah. Our lips are sealed, I promise you. But yeah, so we're getting into game here. And hopefully we get a nice early replay. I'm excited.
I'm waiting for the first replay we get.
A nice 2v2 fight here, and then we can watch it twice. I really want to see it. So look for FN to do their typical 5-man invade. They usually go to red side, get a ward down, but we see PTC doing the same thing. Maybe taking a page out of their book, and they do have the stronger level 1. Aphelios is probably one of the worst champions level 1 because he doesn't have an ability.
Correct.
Which is a nice thing, but we see FN actually 5-pointing here, and is Bearson gonna walk a little far and like be caught out? That could definitely happen.
So they're not checking.
They're not checking, but he actually fishes for a little Q there, and gets out, sneaks out the back. Volibear getting a ward down. That's a really cool Volibear skin.
That's one of the best Volibear skins.
Is that like...
It's like a cyborg kind of thing.
I like that. And this Kog'Maw skin kind of looks like Lilo and Stitch.
It's the new Alchemist one or whatever, something. Arcanist skin.
Doesn't it look like the guy from Lilo and Stitch?
It does. Stitch.
Yeah, so I'm all for these skins. I like seeing something different. I do like... I wish we saw Pajamas Urgot again. That was my favorite.
That was the favorite.
That was my favorite one so far. So... both starting on bot side, so look for them both to path to the top side and influence this top lane, which without jungle interference should be pretty resident sleeper. Or Aatrox should be able to outdamage Ornn, but I don't see a world where Ornn ever gets into lethal unless he really
wants to.
Makes a mistake.
Right.
Or there's junglers intervening. But this mid lane is very volatile, and we talked about Kog'Maw being more of a...
That was a good first level 2 gank, forcing the flash off of the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, so. and right on cue. Kog'Maw's not very mobile, and he does take teleport here, which is, we did see him with the cleanse in the last time we saw him, but there isn't really any good things to cleanse on the other team, so the TP is very... very strong because he can just scale. He just wants to scale. He wants to get to that Archangels, probably 2 AP items, and then just pop off and do all that team fight damage. So I really think the team composition here, Kog'Maw is going to be carrying a lot of the team fight damage, whereas Ashe is looking to keep the pace. We did see the meta where Ashe, Varus were kind of picked bot lane because they brought that kind of like peel, and they're more of like they allow the rest of their team to look way better. Because Ashe slowing everyone, you can make other teammates really shine with everyone CC'd, everyone's slowed. But Ashe still does really good DPS while doing that. So that's why I really like the Ashe pick. And Aphelios struggles when he can't get in. So if he's just getting constantly slowed, and he can't get in there to do all of the 200 years damage and then CC. And Unlimited Ninja did take Conquer this game. I was watching one of their scrims, and he took Fleet Footwork on the Aphelios, and it was a little bit questionable. So I'm glad he listened to some advice and switched that up. So
maybe he's reviewing his games.
And I think Aphelios is interesting because we see a lot of Lethal Temple or Conqueror, and both of them are so good on him because he already gets really good attack speed with like the red gun, with the Draven gun as people have been calling it, just because he doesn't lose a trade with it. And we see Jarvan coming in here, another great gank.
That's a good flash, but...
Yeah, he gets the flash, and we see... J4 on the aggressive. He burned 2 flashes, and Volibear has just been kind of power farming. So he does get the back here, and we see Ornn actually fighting for these golems, Krugs. Yeah, Krugs. And Voli's coming in, but J4 just going to smite it and walk away. I do think Volibear has a really strong level 3 gank, so I'd be interested to see if he gets some pressure going here. And
the lanes have been pretty even from what I've seen. That's why like the Jarvan does have the better gank than the Volibear. So we'll see.
Yeah, and you get the access to it at level 2, where Volibear is still pretty new. So I'm still kind of getting down his pathing and when he's strong and when he's not.
Yeah, he's good. You can do 3 or 4 jungle clears, but it's if the lanes are pretty even, he has to find another way to get through. It's kind of like a Heck Room, right? Heck Room has to go around sometimes just to get the gank off. So.
I guess he just runs in, whereas J4 does have the EQ where he can.
Yeah, he can just dive in wherever. So.
Yeah, which is why you pick Jarvan. You can have that early power, and his passive provides so much damage. Whereas, and then he can kind of build tanky, and then he's useful the whole game. Where Volibear kind of does the same thing. He provides some good early damage, becomes this huge tank, and then just can kind of
bruiser.
Yeah, just be like a bruiser and disrupting, and then just having the added benefit of turning off towers is something that we've never really seen in League before.
Right.
So we did have Ohm-Wrecker, but it was never really played. You'd kind of see it as like a meme sometimes, but
it just didn't have the good stats to be able to like pick it up.
Yeah.
'Cause if you can just get away from the tower, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's not worth it.
Yeah. So. Pretty slow paced game here.
Looks like there's did Ornn teleport down to Dragon?
Oh yeah, I think he just walked down.
Okay.
His TP's still up. He pushed the wave, so Aatrox has to catch that, otherwise he loses.
Kog'Maw's teleporting in just support for the Dragon fight.
Yeah, and they're really looking at how
they're really forcing this.
How FN likes to play. They really and we see the R come out from Orianna on only the Volibear, so we might have a 5v5 here. But it's really broken up, and we see Felios really chunked this Dragon's low health, and they really kind of just leashed it for FN.
For blue.
They came
and
in. They have a good
on FN just to come by and really pick up that Dragon.
And they saw PTC was bringing 5 down. FN said, okay, we can do the same thing. They did have to burn the teleport on the Aatrox, but we see, and the Orianna, but Kog'Maw used the TP, and we do see Ashe having TP in this game as well. So really looking to just have the control on the map and get around and be first at these objectives like they were, but then after the R from Orianna, Volibear really wasn't safe to stay in there and kind of scrap, where Jarvan was full health, and if Voli goes down, they lose the Dragon and Volibear, so he just backs off, kind of probably playing safe. It's just an air drag, so they are looking to prevent that 4-Dragon win con that FN's been so keen on playing around, but it's not worth giving a gold lead and tempo.
And
so
I
think they lose the Dragon no matter what there. But they do keep the TP on Ornn, so keep an eye on when he's 6 for maybe a play in the bot lane where he can get this Ashe ahead and then unlocked. So, and you see Ornn playing really well on the chains from Aatrox. He saves the W. Can't be displaced when he's using W.
Correct.
So if he's going to be pulled back into a dangerous situation, he just pops that or just ease out. Like you said, this is kind of a back and forth lane. But we do see the farm really ballooning into Aatrox's favor. He's up... quick math here. 25.
Almost like 50%.
Yeah, but... The thing with Ornn, and he's got a 2-level lead.
2-level leads,
He chose to walk down to Dragon after pushing.
That hurt him.
Yeah, that was a lot of XP. Pretty interesting to see. It's nice to see him at the objective first, but giving up so much. The problem with leaving your lane in the early game is you see these big XP leads. Two levels of... base stats is just so big, and the phase rush popped here by
missed the alt. Orianna missed the alt on that one. That was
just scaling. Both of them are looking to scale here. I
think it's gonna be, like you said, it's gonna be a slow mid.
Yeah, unless Volibear can come in and really dictate the pace here, but we do see Volibear looking to scrap a little bit. And I thought that was going to do more damage, but he just has the tier for damage as of right now. So he's still tickling. He's still a little Stitch. Wait till he gets a little AP. Those R's are going to start hurting, and on low health targets they execute. So
Ornn uses the teleport to go back lane. He needs that though.
He needs to do that, and we see him pick up the Bramble Vest. That's kind of the key item against Aatrox. Stop the healing. Aatrox just has the really good passive where he starts healing off of so many different sources, but he has to auto attack to win trades, so that really is going to balance it out. And Ornn being behind isn't the end of the world. I do like the idea of them bringing him down to try and get that Dragon. He scales really well on low econ. Obviously, having him with high econ is good because he's super strong. But the biggest thing is the experience. You don't want to be super far in levels because that influences so much, whether it be the minions or just base stats are so important, especially in the early game.
It's like the last game, right, where the Maokai against Alex was behind, like pretty much almost all game.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter because that's what he is. He's just there for tank, there for utility.
As long as he can tank good enough and be that front line and engage, that's really all they need. Obviously, if he's down 100, 200 CS, things start getting alarming where he's down a couple items, where Aatrox becomes a better tank than Ornn. You never want to fall into that situation, but yeah. And we got some more long messages.
I know. If you guys could keep your messages to like half of that length, that'd be great. Because we can't read the whole message.
It makes it interesting to read.
It's a little easier to read.
Unless it's just copy pasta, then that's all right. And we see that use of that W there, not getting pulled in, and even though he did tank the sweet spot, he was able to trade back a lot more effectively.
Yeah.
So the farm and mid lane's really even. Jungle's even. Even Ornn is kind of bringing this back. He's down only 15 now.
Well, he's able to duel now just because of the items he picked up.
Yeah,
so
Bramble Vest gives him the opportunity to duel. And even bot lane, I've thought Ashe Lulu was going to run away with the CS here a little bit, but we see him pretty much even. I think Aphelios is going to be exactly even if he doesn't Caster Curse miss these. But he does, and he has really strong dueling guns right now, so Ashe and Lulu are going to be getting a nice cheater recall. They did push the wave decently. They didn't get into tower, but it was good enough, and it's a great recall timing because Dragon is coming down here. And then Aphelios might not even be able to back. And this is a really interesting build. We see the Muramana Ashe.
I was going to ask about that. Do you know much about that build? I don't see a lot of that at all.
No, I've never seen that. Okay. I've seen Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah, I've seen Blade. I've seen Infinity Edge. I've seen those, but not a Muramana.
Maybe they're really just looking to. They're like, FN's happy to scale. We're just going to buy all scaling items, and we're going to just beat them at what they want to do. But scaling into an Aphelios is very scary.
I think it's scary. I think it's risky.
Yeah, it's risky. I think Ashe is very good at like cutting through tanks, and she's more of like a supportive AD carry, like we talked about before. Whereas building the Muramana, you're really looking for the late game damage and the scaling damage, and I honestly, I'm not even sure how it even procs with our Q. Does every single Q, when she uses it, apply the Muramana?
Right.
And I'm not sure. Maybe this is the hidden OP, and like I'm just haven't been.
This is nice just to see the dragon be challenged. Oof.
Yeah, and I think PTC is going to secure it.
And Rakan goes down.
Yeah, and Ashe, we saw the power of the Ashe here. She just presses R, and a lot of peeling for this Ashe. Oof. Oh, but Jarvan comes in and absolutely destroys the Lulu. We see the power of the Orianna R paired with the Aatrox here and just deleting the Kog'Maw. Yeah. It must have been Aatrox W that pulled someone back. I thought it was the Orianna R. But, yeah, they just get wiped there. Really sloppy team fight where, we got a ARAM clip. And
we have some technical difficulties coming in.
Yep.
So sorry about that. Just give us a minute or two just to get back our clip.
But that team fight was very on different levels, and we saw Aatrox come in, and the power of Aatrox is when he pops that R, he's so mobile.
Oof.
And if he gets
so much speed boost on that thing.
And if he gets to the back line and he can get the reset, he just kind of goes crazy. Right. So we saw
they got the dragon, but that team fight, I would say, ended up in FN's favor anyways.
Yep.
Just because of the amount of.
It was a Mountain Dragon, which is very good for the Ornn. And we have them.
Still working on some technical difficulties, so sorry about that.
Were they winning this ARAM game? That's the real question.
They were ahead. I do have to say, I did watch this game a little bit, and they were ahead.
Did they win?
I think so.
Okay. That's a savior. But yeah, we tried the replay, and we're back.
Okay, we're back to the game.
Whatever you did, it was good.
Yep.
We got our team working on the replay system here. So, and from the looks of it, Kog'Maw picked up a kill. I think that was after the dragon. I was kind of watching on that monitor.
2 kills.
Yeah, I think he picked up one in the team fight and then one after. But we see him just getting absolutely a party in mid lane instead of a party to challenger.
So FN picked up the Rift Herald. Okay,
yeah.
So that
and then
helped
they break
out
that first tower in mid lane is so key. Once it gets popped, it really opens the map for the opposing team. So this really gives the freedom of Orianna and J4 to pair up and just kind of attack PTC in their jungle. It can really get deep vision. And we see Infernal Soul coming down, which is really cool. We like damage. So, yeah, here comes the dive. And oh, my, 200.
That was just...
I think that was just Orianna
all the whole
paired
day,
with
dude.
Rakan. Rakan had a really good engage and got both of them with the charm knockup into the Orianna damage, and then Aphelios pressed R, 200 years popped them.
And then the R on the driving ult.
Yeah, it was a really good wombo combo.
Good.
And we didn't really see that before, but in the team fight we couldn't see the wombo combo, but right there it was played really well, and we see a 1v1 here and Volibear flying in, but I don't even think he needed him. I think Ornn just had the solo kill. That was a really good Ornn play. Ornn is super strong, as we've said, and when he gets that Bramble Vest, he cuts down on Aatrox's healing, which is where he gets a lot of his tank stats from, is being able to sustain those team fights open. We're going to see a pause here.
So I wonder if someone's experiencing lag, or
maybe it was for us.
Oh, was it for us?
I don't know. But yeah, we got to see this power of Volibear coming in there, and paired with Ornn's R, they can lock someone down for like 10 seconds and just beat on them. Cog does have the 2-kill lead, so that's really good scaling, but Orianna, if she gets out of control, I feel like this Kog'Maw's going to have a really unfun time.
But that's the benefit of Orianna, was this her ult. That's because Cog can, how do I say, poke and do damage and push people out.
Yeah. But if Ori gets out of control,
she
just puts the ball on Kog'Maw, and he doesn't have a good way of getting out of it.
Especially if you have two immobile.
Yeah.
Your carries are both immobile.
And Lulu can only protect one.
Correct.
Only ult one. So if Kog'Maw gets the ball on him and gets ulted, and I don't think AP Cog picked up any MR. He kind of just wants to be full damage. So if Orianna gets more kills and more AP, she might just be deleting either Ashe or Kog'Maw. And you kind of got to pick your poison.
And there's no way for them to stop the J4 dive anyways.
Yeah, and we're back. So just a little pause there. I'm not sure. You can't hear us.
Can they hear us? Or chat, can you guys hear us?
Give me a woo-hoo if you can hear us. Okay. You got a thumbs up.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
It's just him. Okay, that's reassuring. There's a volume button in the bottom left, I think. But yeah, we're just going to be going back. Dragon's going to be coming up here soon, and I think that's where the next team fight's going to be. I think a little over a minute here. I think we're just going to be having 5v5s, and whoever gets this Dragon is kind of going to be in the front seat for going towards that soul. And with the pace of play so far, I wouldn't be surprised if we do go up until soul. It's been a little laid back, and Kog'Maw's getting to the point where he can really wave clear efficiently, and Orianna is always a strong wave clear. Once she gets the blue buff, she can kind of just perma shove, and then with the tier 1 being down in mid lane, she can really go with the jungler J4 to get vision on these objectives. And Volibear is playing on the back foot a little bit because he doesn't have that freedom from their mid laner. He can't just go in without concern, but we see them kind of do a drive-by here. Aatrox is clearing a pink ward right on top of the volley, but Jing and Jag pulled right back. Bearslon does a good job disengaging. He doesn't get the pink ward. He loses the pink ward fight, but now we see J4, Aphelios, and Orianna going to be making their way. But we do have the bot lane for PTC and top lane. I wonder if they're going to trade this dragon control for this tower and look to kind of snowball. They could get this tower and Rift Herald in exchange for the dragon, and I'm not sure if that's the play. They are recalling right now. Dragon's up in 3. It might just be too late. They might as well just push.
I wonder if they don't know. They should, just because the Herald's open right now.
Yeah.
So to trade, like you said, a trade for both objectives, that'd be the smart.
Whereas it looks like they're backing and going to try and fight this, but the Dragon's probably going to be gone.
It's going to be gone by the time they get down there.
they could have really got the tower and top lane Rift Herald and then put it in mid and got the tempo swing. Sure, they would have fallen behind and gave FN the opening for the Dragon Soul, but it's just 2-1. It's okay to sacrifice that one.
See, and this is where they're collapsing on the Herald now. So that's why I'm saying, like, did they not know that?
Yeah, it's just a little late. That's what, you know, while they had Ashe Lulu in top lane, if they would have pushed it into tower, got some damage, and then had someone doing Rift Herald and just kind of forgot. Instead, they half-checked Dragon, had some mistimed backs, and and just a little off page.
The vision on FN's really good though.
Yeah, they have some good deep vision, and we see Rakan going in with the Orianna ult right on top, and Ashe just absolutely destroyed.
And that's
the
what you're talking
combo.
about. You're talking about that.
And Rakan is really good in the immobile targets because even there, we saw him be a little short on the knockup, but he just charmed flashed on top of him, charmed the whole team, and then Orianna just pressed R and popped him. Kog'Maw was able to survive, but one of the two are going to probably go down, and it's just going to get more and more difficult the stronger this Orianna gets. Their one saving grace here is the Mountain Dragon. That does provide 6% buff, so if they do just even pick up a Null Magic Mantle, that might be the difference of them surviving one shot or not.
True.
It's not the best pickup, but
it
stunts your damage, but if you're dead, you're not doing damage anyway. So
it's one of those where you have to adjust to the game appropriately.
Yeah, and with having the Mountain Dragon, it just makes it that much more efficient.
Right.
Even if you build a Hex Drinker later in the game, just sit on the Null Magic Mantle. That's the one thing I really like about League is how like the scaling of resistances is. It's really strong early, but as you pick up more, it kind of flattens off. So just picking up that little bit of MR
does help.
Can save you. And we see, I think he's going into Blade for a second item here on the Ashe.
Still trying to figure out the effects of this Merman on the Ashe, so that's why I see it kind of working, but at the same time not benefiting a whole lot. And
it could be like looking for mid game. We're still kind of just getting to mid game. You kind of think of mid game at 20 minutes and after, but he even has the flash here.
Nice arrow.
Yeah, he gets the arrow onto the Aphelios, but there's not a lot of follow up until the TPs come in. We see Voli flashing over, getting in there. Really good disengage by the Aphelios. He got Ashe ulted, but and we see the happy feet wombo combo, and Aatrox gets in there and he just
Aatrox got the 3-man knockup
so
right
many
there.
people.
That was crazy.
Yeah, Orianna just put the ball and we saw that wombo combo. We saw Aphelios ult with the flamethrower, with the Orianna R, and then Aatrox just seeing everyone, and they can just do that so cleanly. And Cog going to go down again, and that's the problem with these immobile carries is if you can't keep them safe,
can't keep them alive.
And then with the huge wombo combo that FN does have, it's just super hard because you got Jarvan, you got Rakan, you got Aatrox, really able to get to the back line, and with the front line of PTC not being there for that engage, like Ashe had a great arrow, and if they were just a little quicker, I mean, obviously you can't predict the arrow going to land, but or if they had a better TP ward. You see no vision on that side of the map. They were forced to TP to the tower, so they were kind of in the back of the play. So they were kind of playing like back to front, where the CC and the engage was the follow-up of the Ashe arrow was coming in just a second late, where Aphelios was able to flash out and then return fire with a huge wombo combo and just absolutely just demolish PTC.
The whole team. Yep.
But yeah, Aatrox is, and this is why he's so good. He is like a mix between a tank and
just a true bruiser.
Yeah, just a true bruiser where he can get and do whatever he wants.
Too many tank items. He's just in there forever.
Yeah, and he's playing it very well here.
Yeah.
And we see the Orianna ults being clean. Aphelios damage. He's been playing it really good, and he was kind of the question mark being the new player coming in and subbing.
Oof.
Oh, but the Ashe arrow, and that's why Aphelios is so good. Sometimes he does what Ashe does, but better because he just autos and roots. So
doesn't need to ult. Doesn't need to ult. It's just part of his abilities.
Yeah, that's Aphelios for you.
I'm just saying, he doesn't.
Yeah, but
need to ult for anything special. He's got everything already.
And Volibear has a really hard time getting in on Aphelios if he does have that root gun up, because he just autos him and then roots him, and with Volibear he does get the reset on the Q, but it gives Aphelios enough time to really reposition and gives Rakan time to come in and CC. So So this Ash still hasn't had the transformation on.
No.
And it's traditionally, he face checks an Aatrox, who's very strong right now. And and we kind of talked about the Ezreal transformation, and we just see FN just rolling. This Aatrox very strong, and with Ash face checking him, was just able to really remove him. And he does have the Victorious skin. I think that's the Victorious skin, or is that the? And that's like the extra power spike, the $25 power spike there. So that's why he got the extra damage there. Or is that just a car?
No, that looks like the Victoria. No, that's not the Victoria skin.
Never mind. He doesn't have the 20. Just imagine if you had the $25 power spike. And he's just going for the 1v1 here on Ornn. We saw Ornn win the 1v1 earlier, but now it's a lot more. It's a lot closer. And with Bearson picking up the Black Cleaver, he can really shred this armor. Even with Ornn having those 2 armor items, still doing great damage and able to push. I don't think an extended 1v1 would go his way, but those nice little trades is what Aatrox really excels in. Because he does those trades, he heals up, and then he just, trades again. And Ornn doesn't have the same upkeep as Aatrox does. So,
But a lot of the team fights have been going FN's way. They've been playing it really well. But I think that's basically because I'm just looking at the map. Before this, they did have a lot more wards, a lot more vision.
Even now, they have that whole vision around the dragon is just completely covered in blue vision, all the way up until they did have the wolves warded, which is just super good. And then you can just track enemy junglers. Even at this point, they haven't dropped the tower yet. So having vision of jungle, you can just kind of constrict all that pressure. And this Ash, what I was saying before, Ezreal typically, you look to see the transformation of the Muramana before the 3rd dragon. That's when you really know the Ezreal is going to be online. And we see 4 dragons going down here, and Ash still hasn't gotten it transformed. She does pick up the Blade of the Rune King, but I really just think this is stunting the power spike here, and it delayed the Executioner's Calling and some of these items that you really want against FN's team comp. And we haven't really seen a payoff for it. So we do see the 2 item power spike coming in here for Kog'Maw with the Liandry's. He does pick up the Swifties to try and survive some of this Wombo combo, but that's all he can really do is try and dodge some of these knockups, and then followed up by Orianna ults. He does have Flash here. Look for all flashes up on PTC.
That's a lot of flashes going, though. Especially on the Orianna.
If you have to flash the Orianna ult, it really hurts your point. And we see Orianna does pick up the Morellonomicon. Not a whole lot of healing, but Rakan with a huge engage here, and Aphelios presses R, does a ton of damage, and we see him with the 1v9 guns here. He has the white gun and the Kog'Maw and the Draven guns, and he is just going absolutely wild. He gets speed boost from the Orianna, and he quadra kills. Is he going to get the penta?
Gosh.
Give him the penta, boys.
Oh my gosh.
But that's just really the power of Aphelios. If he's allowed to just run at you, or you're running at him and not killing him, he can just absolutely go nuts. And that champion.
But, dude, this is going to be 3rd game in a row that FN support makes every single play work.
He is just making plays.
He is making every play.
We saw him on the bar just be a game changer now.
He's game changer in this one without those engages.
And showing the flexibility. So we haven't seen him on on the Rakan. We've seen him on Nautilus, Leona, like these really standard engage, but the Leona and Nautilus have kind of been falling off. They did draw a ban, but this Rakan has looked really clean. We see him with the Flash Charm. I think he hit like 4 or 5 members.
People right
and
there.
And then we saw Orianna speed boosting the Aphelios. She's kind of handing off. He's 806. He's playing super well right now. She's kind of handing off and peeling Orianna, and that's why Orianna's such a good pick. She can empower other players just like Ash can. And we do see the Muramana finally transform here at almost 26 minutes.
26 minutes. That's a long time.
Yeah, that's a late transform, but maybe that's going to be the power spike that Ash needs. If Orianna is one-shotting the Kog'Maw, Ash needs to be able to supplement this damage for the team. But Aphelios is out of control now. And I think he might be able to 1v9 with the right guns, obviously. These 2 guns are okay. You bring some CC, but they're not the teamfight guns. Look for Sniper. Green and white are very good teamfight guns. Basically, you want
names? I'm
one.
Just kidding.
Kog'Maw and Caitlyn. But the white gun is like the best. That's the Chakrams.
Yes.
Chakrams is like the main gun. Look for that to be up because it really does scale his DPS to absurd numbers, and being able to place down the turret, it's just absolutely crazy. So basically it's white plus anything, but ideally white plus green, white plus red are the Calibrum and Draven, I think, is red.
Don't ask me.
But red's the tough one. So Chakram and Calibrum are like the OP 1v9 where you're just hitting them from 10 million Teemos away and one-shotting them and rooting them. I love Aphelios.
They're trying to fight for this.
Yeah, and we see them with Dragon
I feel like
Control.
they just have to give it up. It's Baron.
It's Dragon Soul. They have to fight here, but they haven't been winning any of these team fights. We see Ornn just soaking tons of damage and actually getting the ult from Aphelios. I think they could maybe have a chance. We talked about Aphelios having the non-ideal guns here, and without the ult, this might be their best chance to kind of take a team fight. But a lot of those ults were burnt from PTC, and after the Dragon goes down, I think that's just a worse time to fight. So there was a little window there where they could have tried to fight around the guns of Aphelios. They're all pretty good. And they would have had to run into a Fed Orianna and a Fed Aatrox, and that is no easy task. So it's never ideal when you have to run into a Fed team.
No.
But that might have been their time, and this Kog'Maw just really is struggling to get off the ground. And when you're
He's
into
doing
a team,
lot of damage. It's just
but the team fight setup
ends
is just
too fast for him to even do anything.
And it's so easy for FN. Like they picked a really easy to execute time. Everyone pile in and throw an Orianna out, kill the 2 carries, and then just chase everyone down. So I feel like the execution was really favored for them because they do have access to these 2 immobile carries. Sure, Aphelios is immobile, but he has Orianna speeding him up, and then Rakan has just been on the front foot with these engages, whereas Lulu is more of the reactionary.
Keep you alive as long as you can.
Yeah, and she can speed up and polymorph just like just as good, but she has to pick between Ashe or Kog'Maw. And if she is speed boosting up Ashe, FN hasn't had a problem just saying, okay, we'll just eliminate Kog'Maw and we'll go from there. So they've been playing it really smart, and these team fights have been really well executed by FN. So,
Agreed.
And we see them coming up to the base. I think what they have to do here is they just have to try and get a pick. They have to look for picks, maybe get a kill on the Orianna or even the Rakan. If you see the Rakan kind of fishing for an ult engage, if they can just Ashe Arrow and blow him up, that's really a lot of the access. Then FN is going to be relying on the Jarvan and the Aatrox, and those are a little bit easier to keep at bay for a little bit. I mean, obviously Jarvan can still get in, but Aphelios has just been making so many good plays that it's if they were able to get a pick on him, but maybe even Aatrox here, but he's so tanky. He's got Death Stance. He's just going to take forever to kill. Even with Grievous Wounds at this stage in the game, he's going to be super hard to kill. So
I think that's the one thing I have against Grievous Wounds is like it's only good like late game. It doesn't really mean a whole lot.
Yeah, we see Rakan flashing in again, but the follow-up's a little bit behind. But Orianna flashes in and
gets one kill.
Yeah, she one-shots the Lulu, but she might have overstepped. She didn't get the Ashe or the Kog'Maw there. So, and this is kind of what PTC needed. And they answer with 5 in bot lane, and Aatrox is up here just chilling, just smacking tower, taking creeps, and applying that pressure. So they did trade 1 for 1, and they got the Orianna. So maybe they look to have a fight here. Ashe Arrow is up, so if they could try to take a 4v4 here, Orianna is a much bigger loss than Lulu. So, but I think FN is just going to disengage, wait for Orianna to spawn, and then Orianna even has jungle. TP, so they're just kind of, like we said, playing it slow. They have the Dragon Soul.
I think the next Baron that comes up might end the game.
Yeah, and that's up in 30 seconds. So, these team fights have just been really hard for PTC to execute.
It's hard for them to disengage. You know, they don't have very many people that can Thinking like what? Maybe if they had a Janna, just to push all the diving out.
That would have been a good pick. But
or maybe a stronger, maybe someone a little bit more mobile than the Cog or the Ashe. Maybe a little bit more balanced.
Yeah,
there.
You've got kind of like 2 people fulfilling the same role with Kog'Maw Ashe, where they just want to sit there and do damage. But if Orianna doesn't pick up those stray kills. She did kind of pick up kills here, pick up kills there, and then if she doesn't get to the point where she can just one tap anyone, she's playable around with Lulu shielding and playing around. But when she gets to that point where she can just delete. And even in that case, we saw her just say, okay, you can shield the Ashe you're standing next to, but I'm just going to delete you from the team fight. But she did flash in. So we do have Ashe with flash, or Kog'Maw doesn't have flash. So maybe look for Lulu to pair up with Kog'Maw, keep him alive. Ashe can flash the Orianna ultimate and like the engage, and maybe that's their ticket to winning in one of these team fights, is just adapting to summoner spells and playing around that. And we see Ornn pushing this out. They know there's going to be a big team fight. Elder Dragon's coming up in a minute 30.
I didn't even realize they took Baron already.
Yeah, so they just had
that
complete
was so
control.
Fast.
And we see no wards down for PTC on that
going
side.
back to the Vision game.
Yeah,
but
I don't even think they could have stepped up, really. They have one win con to extend this game, and it's going to be the Elder Dragon. So I think they got to just try not to lose all their inhibs here so they can fight for it. And
but this, I have to say though, this is a different game that FN has played though. To be honest with you, I seen them play the Vision game in the last couple of games, but not as good as this.
No, they've been playing really clean, even from early game.
They just drew them out. Doesn't matter. Like Tank Monkey said, the attrition war is just immense on FN's side. They just took over.
And once that Vision starts creeping in, you have to face check. And we saw Ashe face check the Aatrox and just die. And then after that happens once, you're afraid,
that was nice.
Yeah, we see the all-in engage. They're just really just death-balling and just running in all at once. And we see just Aatrox being very strong.
Just what he does.
Yeah.
And then Phelia's just,
Yeah, and this is just a standard front-to-back team fight. And we see Lulu kind of answering, but 200 years coming in. And she has to try, maybe pick up a kill. That was just a really well-played team fight. Well played overall by FN. They played early game all the way through late game.
They did.
Super clean. And we see Unlimited Ninja coming in here, replacing Risk It for the week.
Subbing in for him. And not too bad.
Yeah, 1207 is not a bad score.
Not bad at all.
Risk It had a really good game, 2 games last week, but then not missing a beat with this new 80 carry sub that they have going in here. So, and we do see damage. I didn't even know we could see these.
We can, just because,
So we saw Kog'Maw do a ton of damage, like we were saying, but he couldn't stand there and fire. And that was a really difficult role to play into the 3 divers and they did early pick them. So we saw the first pick Ashe, third pick Kog'Maw, was it? So they had plenty of time to pick around it and into it.
I wonder what the plan is though. Why last two games straight they picked mid lane right away.
Yeah. Maybe just knowing that
what that plan is.
FN was had played the AP Cog, so maybe they were afraid of and really practice it this week. And like I said, it worked out well. You saw the damage chart there and how much damage it was able to pump out. But he wasn't able to just stand and fire because he had Aatrox, a fed Aatrox, a strong Jarvan hopping on him. Rakan was charming everyone.
I still think it's support difference that game.
Yeah, and we talked about the no cleanse, and really Charm was the only thing to cleanse, but maybe in hindsight that would have been helpful because of how well
he was doing.
He was getting to the back line, flashing. He seemed like he had flash every fight.
Dude, yeah.
And he was getting in there, charming them all, and then layering the Orianna ult. So it was just really clean team fight. PTZ kept with them, but then we saw some missed timings. We saw the top lane where they kind of were late to the dragon, and then they lost out on top tower and Rift, which it was just and that's the thing with League. It's just a 3-second. You have like 3 seconds to make the decision, and if you make or are a little bit behind, then you lose out. So they end up losing the dragon, which they recalled for, and then losing Rift and not getting the tower. So it just compounded. Whereas maybe if they would have just tunneled in and just went, we're just gonna
trade for trade.
Yeah, we're gonna take the gold lead.
So we
can
for one.
Yeah.
That's all they have to do.
Obviously, sitting here, it's a lot easier than when you're in the game. You have to decide, we don't want to give them Dragon. That's been their win con for so many games. But I'm interested to see the Aphelios pick. We saw FN able to play it. previously PTC was really the only team that prioritized it. And we saw Aphelios banned almost every game against them. So with them switching over to blue side, is Aphelios going to make it through again, or are they going to ban it now?
I wonder.
And we saw how strong it was. 12:07. I don't even know if Aphelios has died in any game he's been in. He popped off the one time we saw PTC played against.
Yeah, I don't think he died that game either.
And 12:07 that game. Aphelios is a very strong champion. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets the ban hammer this game.
Right.
But with that, I think we're going to take a little break.
I agree.
A little restroom break. And we will be back in just a little bit. See you then. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Short little break there. We're going to be getting back into Champ Select in just a couple minutes here. Biggest thing I'm looking for Game 2, I really want to see Mega Man Zero on a hard carry champion. I don't know if he plays something like Diana, so a champion that can really roam.